Rockstar Gang, what up? What up? Appreciate everyone joining the live stream. Welcome to the channel. Welcome back as always. We are going to dive into this undrafted free agency class. The Canes are on right now, so I'm a little distracted. All right, we've got the Canes game, second round of the playoffs, 0-0 against the Caps. Right now, getting a lot of shots on goal, just not capitalizing on that power play. Lots happening in this game, but no score yet, 0-0. See what happens, man. See what happens. But we're going to dive into this undrafted free agents class. It was requested yesterday from some of you guys to go over that, and I said, all right, well, let's do it. I've definitely looked into it. I've done a couple of shorts on some guys that I thought were guys that I'm like, okay, this guy could be a stud. This guy could not be. And we're going to dive into most of those guys today. So again, I appreciate everyone joining the live stream. Do me a favor again. Make sure you smash the like button, hit the subscribe button as you guys are coming in. The best thing you can do, though, is make sure you pound that like button. That's the best thing you can do, honestly. That is the best thing you can do. You can become a member today. It's less than $2.99. It's less than a cup of coffee from Dunkin' Donuts or Starbucks. Again, I appreciate y'all coming through wherever you're watching, whether you're on Twitch, Twitter, whether you're on X or I guess that's Twitter, same thing. So again, I appreciate everyone joining the live streaming again. What's up, Marcos? Appreciate you joining, man. All right, so let's get right into it. So we're going to dive into this undrafted free agent class. Now that the draft is over, this is something I probably should have done a while back, but there was other stuff I wanted to kind of really dive into a little bit. And really wanted to dive into what I've been really wanting to dive into is this undrafted free agency class. And so now that's what we're going to do today. Let me pull up my handy dandy presentation that I have here. And let me get right into it. Hold on, I got to share my screen. I've got a nice little presentation for you guys. Hold on one second here. Let me pull this up. Come on, man. There we go. What's up, Eric? Appreciate you joining. Okay. No, okay. There we go. All right. I hope you guys can see that. So this is the list that we have. All right. This is the list that we have of all of the undrafted free agents. So I hope you guys can see that. Let me know if you can't. I'll have to make it bigger. I can definitely do that. But as of right now, if you could see like that, that's great. So here's the thing. We got the draft is over. And now we're in the we're in the unsexy but often vital phase of where this roster construction starts coming now. You got the undrafted, so we got these undrafted free agents. And this is where a lot of the times you think that teams are just scrapping the bottom of the talent barrel in hopes of striking gold. And sometimes you do. I would compare the undrafted free agency. It's like buying scratch offs in bulk. Most of them are worthless. Every once in a while, you hit on a Jalen Coker. You know what I mean? Like, that's exactly what happens. And so, like, speaking of Jalen Coker, right? Last year's, he was the darling of the undrafted free agency. So without, being a wideout of Holy Cross, ended up torching DBs to the tune of 32 receptions, 478 yards, 2 touchdowns last year. Not to mention, he also had a team best of 14.9 yards per catch. So it's not bad for a guy that nobody wanted. Yeah, this is the part of the process that matters. I feel like when we do these undrafted free agents, even if it feels like a game of long shots and players circles, like, you got Dan Morgan and Dave Canales clearly aren't wasting any time. And, they signed all these 15 undrafted free agents, and most will either, be cut before your fantasy team draft rolls around, and a couple might hang out around longer enough to matter. And hell, maybe one of these guys is your next fan favorite jersey purchase for all I know. So I'm going to be honest with most of these guys' breakdowns today. All right. And I'm going to tell you that who's got a shot. I'm going to tell you who's probably going to end up being a camp body. And then I'm going to tell you who might just make you say, oh, holy hell, this dude can play kind of ordeal. Okay. That's what we're looking at with this list today. Eric, what's good? Appreciate you joining. Roadmaster, what's up? What's up? Appreciate you joining, man. So let's get into it first. First off, we have on this list, we've got wide receiver. I gotta pull my list up here. Thank God. All right. First off, we got wide receiver out of Miami. We got Jacoby George. This is also brought to you by BetUS. Sign up for free today. Get 125% bonus up on your first 3 bets up to $2,000, but bet responsibly. All right. First things first, we're going to start off with that wide receiver, Jacoby George out of Miami. Now, this signing, this is a signing with juice. I do think it's a nice signing. George is a yards after the catch machine, borderline burner. Great twitchy route runner, soft hands. The Panthers paid to get him, and reportedly with more guaranteed money than some 6-rounders. That means that they're serious about him. He's a bit of a boom or bust deep threat, and drops and consistency are his issues. So if he finds Woodland and Bryce Young, watch out. Odds of him making the 53-man roster, I would say I would give him a solid 60%. Reason why I say that is I get this vibe that he could be the next like Jalen Coker, but with better wheels. And that could be a possibility. I'm loving the wide receivers that we got in this undrafted free agency, right? Now the next guy on our list is Ethan Garbers, the quarterback out of UCLA. I'm going to be blunt here. This guy's a clipboard guy. He's a smooth operator with decent touch and composure, and lacks any elite physical traits. He doesn't have the big arm to be your quarterback 1, and honestly, probably not even quarterback 2. Think of him as an emergency break glass in case of your quarterback apocalypse option. So at best, he sticks around on the practice squad, gets a few preseason snaps before fading into non-existence. Okay. I think he's got about a 10% chance of making this roster. He's I get the vibes of a guy who's basically diet Brock Purdy. With less chaos, less moxie, and probably less upside. I'll be honest with you. Okay. I don't see anything coming out of him. Earl, what's good, man? I don't see anything coming out of him. Next up, we've got the corner out of South Dakota State. His name is Mike Reed, and he's kind of got, he's got some, he's the typical corner that Carolina looks at. Big, long, a guy who's raw as hell. Reed has the measurables, but not really the technique. That's his biggest issue. He's just kind of he's a ball of clay, and that's no pun intended there, by the way. And the Panthers apparently think that defensive back coach Jonathan Cooley can mold him into something resembling a rotational outside corner. That's a tall order, but hey, size you can't teach. I don't think he makes this roster. I'll give him like a 20% maybe making this roster. The vibes I get from him is like a practice squad corner, a guy who, high developmental risk, low cost. So high risk, high reward type of situation with him. Okay. Then we got next on this list is Michael Torkin out of Oklahoma. Here's the thing about this guy. Surprisingly strong signing. I'll say that. He has starting experience at the Big 12, has a nice frame. You're talking about a guy who's 6'5", 310 pounds. That's that teams convey. Like he moves well enough, in my opinion, to survive in this pass pro. Though his anchor needs work. If James Campen sees something in him, I could see Torkin could quietly become this year's like developmental tackle type of guy, right? A true sleeper here. I'm gonna say 40% chance of making the roster. I think that the vibes I get from him is more of like a guy who's a potential swing tackle in 2026. Like could bump a vet with a strong preseason. That's what I look at with him. That's what I look at with him. You know what I mean? Now the next on this list is Stephen Lasoya. I think that's her name, the Lasoya the third, out of Vanderbilt. Now this guy's versatility. This is a versatile type of guy. I mean, is the name of the game here in the NFL as well, right? So I feel like what I've seen from this guy, he can light up from anywhere. He's not explosive. He's really he's a damn smart player. You can see nasty in close quarters and doesn't quit. He's that kind of dude who'll outlast more talent. And he'll outlast more talented players by sheer grit and attention to detail. Now, here's the thing. Vibes I get from him, I see a classic backup interior O-line who becomes your emergency starter midseason, right? So, but I would give him like a 35% chance of making this roster, man. Sorry I'm late in here. Love the content you help get through the day with your videos. Thanks again for all you do, sir. Appreciate that, Chef. I do the best that I can, man. I do the best that I can. I appreciate all the love and support from you guys. All right. You're the guys, you guys in the chat is what keeps me going, to be honest with you. All right, next up. Well, we've talked about this guy before. On this list, you've got the kicker out of Florida State. I think it's a fan favorite. This guy's file his file is under the very real competition, right? We didn't bring back Eddie Pinheiro. Matthew Wright isn't exactly Mr. Automatic. Fitzgerald has a powerful leg. We've pulled up the stats. We've looked at it. The guy went for 13 for 13 last year, whatever it was 5 for 5 from 50 to 55 yards. And powerful leg, decent college consistency. If he doesn't choke under pressure, he could be week 1 starter. And we know kickers matter, folks. We've seen it time and time again, especially when you're losing close games every other week. Odds to make the team, I'm going to give him 50-50 chance. The reason why I say 50% chance is because the kicker battle is coming. I would say if I'm betting on the rookie. if he stays steady in camp like we've seen him throughout the year at Florida State, right? I think that that's going to be the case. I just don't. I like the rookie a lot here. In that case, if we're talking about, you know, if we're talking about the rookie, that's who I like. That's who I like. I like him. So I probably will take Fitzgerald over Matthew Wright. I'm probably going to take Ryan Fitzgerald over Matthew Wright in the kicking battle. All right. Um, who we got next? Okay, Arkansas State. We've got Arkansas State safety Travion Thomas. Um, Arkansas State. If Doug's watching this, he's gonna kill me, but we don't like Arkansas State here, man. We don't like them. Nah, I'm just kidding. But Travion Thomas is an underrated pickup. I'll say that. When you watch his tape. Thomas flies around the field. He's got reckless intent, sometimes to his benefit, sometimes not. I think he's one of those guys that he can be a true tone setter who absolutely crack someone's ribs on special teams. Limited in coverage, but brings edge and aggression to a safety room that you just added Lathan Ransom. I'd say I would say gives him a 30% chance of making it. I think he's a special teams demon, uh, project safety with thumper potential. That's what I look at him as. All right. That's what I look at him as. Now, next up, we've got my guy out of South Carolina, linebacker Bam Martin Scott. Now, here's the thing. Any linebacker name, if as a linebacker, if your name starts with Bam, you got to live up to it. So, and I'll say this: Martin Scott damn near does when he was at South Carolina, and I know him all too well. Okay, he's violent, he's energetic, fast to the ball. The instincts are still raw. His coverage skills are a bit of a mess. But I think if the Panthers mold him into a core special teamer with developing him behind, you know, I wouldn't say necessarily Trevin Wallace, but behind those guys like Rose Boom and those and of course Jewel, I like his chances. Like I'm gonna give him a 30% chance, but here's the thing: if this guy develops correctly, and I know this might be y'all might be like Clay, what the hell are you talking about? I'm just telling you what I see from what I know from Bam and what I've seen on tape and what I've watched on film. You're looking at a guy that could be your new Frankie Luvu. But everything has to click. And that is a big if. So let me be clear there. That is a big, major if. What's up, James Allen? I appreciate you, man. Yeah, Roadmaster, those extra points did cost us last year. Seth Pinheiro is just still unsigned after wanting a big payday last year, trying to be in line with Justin Tucker, who just got released as well by the Ravens. I love the Fitz pickup. Yeah, me too, brother. Me too. What's up, James Allen? Earl. Roadmaster said the SC defense was hellacious this season. Dude, South Carolina's defense was nasty with Tonka Hemingway, TJ Sanders. You also got freaking, Kyle Kennard, Nick Amanawari, Fortune. You had Deontay. Is it Deontay or Devontae Fortune? I can't remember his first name. But these are all guys that went in the draft. You know what I mean? Bam, Michael, Scott. You had Mo Williams, who I think is very underrated. I'm surprised he didn't get more teams looked at him. I was surprised he was but they just had a lot of guys, man. They had so many players on that team. What's up, Zach? Appreciate you joining, man. Been so busy at this new job, haven't kept up with the Panthers for a couple weeks, except for the draft. There you go, Marcos. There you go, Marcos. I think, Marcos, I saw you in here during the draft or after the draft when we broke it down. So I'm watching the Canes game right now, guys. Come on, push the puck up. Watching the Canes game as we go through this list, guys. All right, next up we have my guy. My guy, I'm very high on. I mean, I'm high on the other wide receiver, Jacoby George, but Kobe Hudson, man. I'm just telling you right now, do not sleep on Colby Hudson. Do not sleep on Colby Hudson. Okay, he's right there. Point. He's got that finger telling you, yeah. I'm telling you, you're talking about a guy who's a smooth operator. Here's the thing with Hudson. He lacks that top end speed. He's not going to be a guy that that's going to give you 4.3, 40 speed, Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle type of speed. Okay. The guy just knows how to get open. Okay. The guy knows how to create separation. The guy has an explosive first step. He's a reliable target. He's more of a possession guy than a playmaker. He comes off a quietly productive career, route running polish, gives him a leg up. He could benefit from this wide receiver room. All right. All right. And I'm telling you right now, don't sleep on him. Sneaky good chain mover. That's the vibes I get him out of. Might make a noise in the slot. Could be a slot guy. Could be that successor for Adam Thielen. I'm going to give him a 30% chance because you got Jacoby George now. You got Kobe Hudson. All right. We're going to talk about another guy we all know about. We're going to talk about him here shortly on this list. You know who I'm talking about. But then you also got Hunter Renfrow. You got David Moore. You got all these other guys. I think the only guys I feel like for sure are going to be on this roster is Leggett, T-Mac, Thielen. And I don't know. I don't even know if I could say Jalen Coker. Now, do I think that he should be on this roster? Yes. But there's a lot of talent in this wide receiver room. I'll say that Jalen Coker is an automatic in. But after that, I'm not going to say Hunter Renfrow is making it into this wide receiver room. I'm not going to say that Kobe Hudson, Mushi Muhammad, which we'll talk about him shortly. I'm not going to give an automatic confirmation that these guys are automatically making it. There's only 4 guys I think that are truly making it. It's Coker, Leggett, Thielen, T-Mac. And it sucks because this is going to be one of the most perfect I think this is going to be one of the most. I want to make this one of the I want to watch this so bad, so bad. I want to watch this wide receiver group so bad because it's going to be one of the most exciting wide receiver groups to watch in training camp. And now we're not going to be able to see it because we're not getting a training camp. Guys, do me a favor, make sure you hit that thumbs up button. It helps out the channel a lot. It helps the algorithm get out there so we get more people in here that maybe don't know about the Ropp Star Report, and we're growing like weeds. So I'd love to continue to do that. Okay. So make sure you guys are hitting that thumbs up button. All right. Feel free to share the live as well. Okay. Hayden, I'm gonna put a link in the chat right now. It's literally right here. Okay. It's literally right there to become a member. All right. It's literally right there to become a member. All right, there we go. Well, I'm finishing up a couple things. I want to get some support from you guys real quick, and we'll get right back into it. All right. Let's see. Let's see here. Let's see here. So Hayden, I put it in there. Um, Marcos, you need an employee. That's funny. Clay, how do you feel about letting Thielen go? I don't think they're gonna let him go. They just the problem is they just paid him more to keep him on the roster so he didn't retire. You know what I mean, Roadmaster? I don't think they're gonna let him go. To me, Thielen's in the way in the slot. And I get it because you're saying that Coker could go there. You know, Leggett could go there, but now you got Kobe Hudson, all these other guys that could possibly go there. You got Jimmy Horn Jr. now, but you also got Hunter Renfro. They might end up letting him go. I don't know. I just don't know. The Thielen situation is interesting because apparently we've had inquiries for us to trade him. You know, we've had that rumor that the Eagles were interested in him. So, if that's the case, great. But at the same time, I mean, really, what are we going to get for Adam Thielen? But he's also been Mr. Reliable. He's also been part of the pieces to help, Adam Bryce Young to develop. You know what I mean? All right, let's go. Let's get into the next guy. Let's get into the next guy. We're going to talk about Cincinnati offensive lineman, as you see there under Kobe Hudson. Offensive lineman Luke Kendra. Luke Kendra had a third round grade. Believe it or not, ladies and gentlemen, he had a third round grade as a center. Okay. He is a meats and potatoes mauler. He's not the flashiest guy, but he brings that Midwest grit and appetite for pancakes. Kendra can plays with leverage, power, has heavy feet that might get him eaten alive by NFL speed, but still, he's worth a look, especially for a third round grade and getting him as an undrafted free agent. You know what I mean? Um, I think he's worth a look, especially the Panthers want more depth behind Damian Lewis and Robert Hunt, and of course, because he can play inside, he can play left guard, right guard, but I think he's a better center in my opinion. But if he can play even be behind Corbett and those guys, whatever the case may be. But the more depth you have on the offensive line, the better. Um, Odds of making the roster, I'm going to give him 25%. I think that he's got a ceiling to be a spot starter. I think his floor somewhere in between. That's the type of vibe I get. He's a preseason cut. He's a preseason cut. That's what he is. All right. All right, let's get into the next guy under Luke Kendra. We've got Corey Thornton, Louisville corner. Now, when I looked into this guy, you're talking about a guy that I was watching some of his tape today, and he's a physical press corner who's built like a brick shit house. Okay. I'll tell you this, runs like 1-2. All right. His technique and press is solid, but he just lacks top end speed, man. Okay. So he's built like a rock, but runs like one too, I should say. Not a brick shit house, but basically the same thing. So that limits his ceiling. But if the Panthers want a gunner on special teams, a guy who can, scrap in the red zone, Thornton could stick around. I give him a 25% to make the roster. I think he's a poor man's James Bradbury. Might shine in very specific matchups. All right, if that makes sense. That's the way I look at it. Appreciate everyone joining the live stream. It's just like Roadmaster said. Make sure you hit the like button. It's free. It's free, man. I greatly appreciate that. I don't understand why people I get it. I get why people want it, Zach. I get why people want it. Right. Roadmaster, T-Mac was definitely not drafted for the slot. And I don't think Excel was drafted for the slot. Excel can play in the slot. T-Mac can play in the slot, but they weren't drafted to play in the slot. They can be they're very versatile wide receivers that can be moved around. T-Mac was drafted to be that guy that can go up and get it, spread the field wide open up the middle of the field for Bryce Young, can be that red zone threat, but not a slot guy. He's not, he was not drafted to be a slot guy. Excel, same thing. He's supposed to be that 50-50 ball guy, take the top off the defense, with that 4.3 speed. That's what Excel is. Now, can they play the slot? Sure. When I watch both of their, I've watched both of their tapes. They can play the slot, but they weren't drafted to be a slot. All right. Do you see Kendra pushing Zavala or Kingston for an offensive line spot? I see him as a better fit as a number 3 center competing with Rom, bearing injuries, practice squad guy. I don't know. Again, the vibe I get from him again is like I said. I think that he's a guy that, again, ceiling, I see him being a spot starter. Floor, I see a preseason cut. That's what I see out of him. All right, next up is Isaac Gifford, the safety out of Nebraska. I hate to admit it, but I hate to admit this one about Isaiah Gifford out of Nebraska. And I do, because Matt Rule coached this guy at Nebraska. He might have coached up a decent one here. I'm not going to lie to you. I watched this tape. I was actually kind of impressed. Very savvy, very physical defensive back with linebacker-like tackling, a high-end football IQ, right? He definitely will need to improve in his man coverage to really avoid becoming a liability. But there is a strong chance he's a backup box safety by midseason. I'd say 40%. Vibes I get from him is more like a poor man's Cam Chancellor, physical, limited but useful type of guy. But I'll have to say it. And I hate to admit it, like I said, Matt Rule actually might have coached up a good one here. He might have coached up a good one. So, but yeah, I think this guy's got maybe like a 40% chance of making the roster. Like I said, a poor man's Cam Chancellor, physical, limited, but useful. So it'd be interesting to see how he comes out of it. So next up, We've got running back Ron Lynch Adams out of Michigan State. I mean, did we need to add another running back to this room? Did we really need to add another running back to this room? Not really. Not really. I actually didn't even get around to this guy's tape. I really don't know much about him. But do we really need another running back? I don't think so. You know, I really don't think so. So, I'm gonna skip over him. It's not even really to discuss. I don't. He's going to be a practice squad guy at best, anyways. Moose Muhammad. Now, this is a legacy player for the Carolina Bloodlines. All right, that alone makes us fans take notice. I'm going to be honest with you guys, and I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I'm not going to hold back. Please do not expect a reincarnation of his dad just yet. He's raw, he's inconsistent, and still trying to figure out who the hell he is as a wide receiver. Still, there's something poetic about Moose the Third getting a shot in Charlotte. Now, I'm going to be generous here. I'm going to get him 20% chance to make this roster. I get vibes, nostalgia, play with wide receiver 6 upside. That's the way I see it. That's the vibes I'm getting off here. Okay. That's the vibes I'm getting off here. So, Moose, I don't see it. I think Kobe Hudson or Jacoby George have more upside, in my opinion, than him. I hate to say it, but he's not going to be anywhere of a reincarnation of his dad. So, I would love it, but I just don't see it. I just don't see it. Yeah. All right. So, next up, we've got the tied in Bryce Pierce out of UCLA. I didn't even get to him yet. Again, I think this is just another tight end, just like I don't really have a lot of upside for him. I think he's just going to be a camp body. I think he's going to be and maybe at best he gets on the practice squad. Right? He doesn't do anything that is just like jumps out at me. It's just like, oh yeah, this guy is legit, right? He just does it. I mean, he's decent. I mean, if you go, I mean, here's the crazy thing. One season with the Bruins after he transferred over to Arizona State, he posted 94 yards on 11 receptions in 10 games, 2 of which he started. So I don't expect this guy to really come out here and, absolutely like light it up and end up becoming on this roster or something crazy like that. I just don't see it. All right. So that's my take on that on him. Next up, we've got defensive lineman out of LSU. That people I think there's a lot of people that actually like this guy. And I've seen some guys talk about it. I mean, you're talking about a guy who's got juice off the line. He's got disruptive hands, violent interior quickness, He's just undersized for a traditional defensive tackle, but he brings enough explosiveness to be a rotational pass rusher. I think the situational chaos agent on passing downs. He's not a plug and play starter, but certainly a fun piece to experiment with. Um, I see like a 30% chance of I see like a 30% chance of making it. Vibes I get off of him could be a guy that shows some flash, could fizzle, but at least, but he's got the twitch. That's the way I look at him. That's the way I look at him, to be honest with you. Wow. My loyalty keeps letting me down, but I got faith. We shocked the NFL this season. If Evero can get it right. Yeah. I mean, anything can happen, man. Anything can happen in this sport. Next up, we've got the international player pathway linebacker Mapalo Mwansa. I don't know much about this guy, to be honest with you. I really don't. I could not find any film on him for some reason. I'm gonna have to go through my files again. Um, but I don't know if he's in there or not. But my guy out of Fresno State, who I think Carolina Panthers are very excited for this Oos, because he is an Oos linebacker. Tua CV no Mora. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it. All right. I don't know if I pronounced that that correctly, but this guy, I did find film on him. You're talking about a guy that hits like a damn truck. The problem is he struggles in space. Okay. He's more of a throwback linebacker, downhill thumper with limited range. So he'll need to show out on special teams to even sniff the roster. Okay. I think a lot of people like him though. His film does jump off to me a little bit. Like there's a lot of explosiveness, there's a lot of like to in his film. But I think he's going to need to show out in special teams to kind of get on the roster and then continue to improve and show more, right? Um, so I think he'll definitely be a practice squad guy, but I think that he does have a chance to make the roster, but he's going to have to do a lot of improving in space. All right. And he's going to have to expand his range if he wants to be, you know, the next coming of the other ooze, Frankie Luvu. Okay. That's just my take on Nomura. Next up is Mike Reed, corner out of I already did South Dakota. They had him twice over there on that list. My next guy is going to be actually Minnesota safety. The last guy, Jack Henderson, undersized, scrappy nickel defender who doesn't flinch in the face of contact. I think Henderson's versatility is his best trait. He's played all over the secondary, and he's held his own. If he can make a splash plays on special teams, he might just sneak into the final 53. Okay. I could see that. But I'm not so sure. I'm not so sure. Okay. I think for him, I see like a 35% chance. I get vibes that he's a Swiss Army knife with a ceiling of surprise preseason darling type thing. You never know. You never know. So, but yeah, that's our undrafted free agency class, man. I just broke every one of those guys down, besides maybe two of them. Um, you know, some of those guys, again, good vibes. Some of those guys, I'm just like, man, I just don't see it. Right. Maybe a practice squad guy, but maybe a preseason cut, camp bodies. Like, you're gonna have your good, you're gonna have your bad, you're gonna have your ugly in these undrafted free agency classes. So um, but yeah, man. Well, other than that, guys, I appreciate everyone joining the live stream. Make sure you guys do me a favor. Make sure you pound that like button, hit that subscribe button. I would greatly appreciate it. Do me a favor, become a member today. Make sure you click that notifications bell so you don't miss out on new content. And then, of course, become a member today. The waiver wire is going to be fire too, Clay. Yes, sir, it is, Roadmaster. Yes, sir, it is. So we're going to look forward to that. I don't know where we're at on the waiver wire, but I'm sure we'll find out. See you, Zach. I appreciate you coming through as always, man. Guys, I will see you. I can't confirm tomorrow. I will have some content coming out to you guys tomorrow. Possibly not a live stream tomorrow, but due to I have a reception to go to tomorrow night. But possibly Thursday night. All right. Thursday night, probably Thursday night will be best. I don't know about Friday night. I have another reception, another event I have to go to Friday night. So busy over here at the Ropp Star Report. So, but other than that, man, I'll still have content coming out to you guys, and maybe I'll do a live stream as well this weekend. So, but I'll still have content coming out to you guys. Again, I appreciate everyone joining as always. Guys, I will see you on the other side. And as always, guys, be on the lookout. Be on the lookout for the content. Still got a lot coming your way. So appreciate everyone showing their love support here. And as always, guys, keep pounding. I'm out of here. Peace.